How can I get justice from my evil ex-wife stealing our child's child support money? Hey all! I wanted to see if I could get some ideas from the wonderful people of Reddit, so here goes. And apologies for the novel, but I feel I need to set the context. I'll include a TLDR at the bottom. About 20 years ago, me and a friend I partied with got closer and started a relationship, mainly based on partying and sex. Bad idea, I know. Well, a few months later, and we find out she's pregnant. I asked her to marry me since it was the right thing to do, and she said yes. In retrospect, I should have not married for having a child out of wedlock. Shortly after my daughter was born, things went south. We were 25 and 27, and I told her we're parents now, and getting a bit too old to continue raving and clubbing every weekend, and getting blitzed out of our minds, and that we needed to be good parents, so we should drastically cut back on the partying. She did not like this one bit, and so started the downfall of our marriage. She kept partying, drank a bottled box of wine every night, and found out later that she was having both men and women over to our house for drugs and sexy time, while I was working third shift, trying to support our new family. After about a year of us being married, she, out of the blue, served me papers for divorce. I was angry and hurt, but we weren't really that close since we had only been together about a year, and our relationship did not have a solid foundation to begin with. So I wasn't too overly upset by it. I said, "Fine, I'll go through with your divorce, but don't take my daughter away from me." What do you think she did next? That's right, took my daughter from me and used her as a pawn to gain control over me and take my money. We lived in a smallish southern city where the judges are old AF and old-fashioned, and automatically go with the mother getting all of the rights, custody of the kids, the house, the money, etc. I fought as long as I could, but eventually ran out of money to keep paying my lawyer. Not to mention my lawyer was horrible. She had her parents who had decent money bank rolling her lawyer fees while I had to pay for my legal battle out of my own pocket, on a then slim hourly wage. I eventually ran out of money, so she won the court proceedings. I probably would have lost anyway due to the above comments. Years later, her lawyer actually admitted to me out in public that she was sorry she represented her, and wished things would have worked out in my favor, but too little, too late. My ex kept my daughter from me the maximum amount of time she could. I got to see her every other weekend, and that hurt more than anything. On top of that, she moved 2 hours away and constantly tried to get out of doing her half of the traveling, leaving me to do the traveling both ways. I found out so much about my ex after the divorce, such as the infidelity and drug use. Another reason I lost the legal battle because I couldn't prove she was a horrible person, just mother. She even once had Child Protective Services called on her because of her drug use. She failed the drug test given to her by CPS, and they told her they would return in 1 month to test her again, and if she failed, they would take my daughter from her and give her to me. Unfortunately, they never showed back up to test her again. Fast forward several years later, and my daughter is now 14, and her mother is ruining her life. She let her stay home from school so much that I started receiving nasty warnings from child services that they were going to charge us for truancy. Her grades were straight Fs. My daughter just recently admitted to me that her mom exposed her to pot at age 13. When my daughter was about 10, she stumbled across her mom's drugs, to which I wanted to use to my advantage to get custody, but didn't want to put my daughter in a tough spot. Finally, her mother realizes she's a horrible parent and asks me to take her since she is unable to care for her anymore. I, of course, agreed, and my daughter came to live with me full time, barely ever even seeing her mother anymore. I got her back into school regularly, got her grades back up to B's and C's, and got her back on track to graduate on time. When my daughter came to live with me, I asked her mother if I could stop paying child support since she would now be living with me full time, to which she agreed. That was a stupid mistake of mine, and I should have went to a lawyer to get the custody arrangements changed, but I didn't. 3 years later, CPS sends me a letter saying they are going to garnish my check $400 per month to make up for the missed child support despite my daughter being with me full time. I called some lawyers who all recommended not to take her to court to change the custody and stop child support because of the old-time judges we still had in our small town, meaning it would be very likely I would still lose the case and then be out potentially thousands in lawyers' fees for a lost case, and that also my ex could just drag out the court proceedings until my daughter was an adult, and the child support was all paid anyway. So in my attempts to stop paying child support since I had my daughter full-time anyway, I asked her mom if she would just send me back the child support money that I was paying her during these 4 years, to which she said, "No, I owe her that money and she deserve it." Note, I didn't ask her to give me a dime, just my own money back. Also note that my daughter never saw a dime of that child. Support money, as the majority of it went to her mom's drugs and alcohol and her other 3 kids, babies that she had each with 3 different men after me. I'm not as angry about the $70,000 that I paid her in child support while she had my daughter, despite not much of it being used for my daughter, but I'm really mad about the $20,000 that she continued to take after I had my daughter full time, because she couldn't take care of her, all while I had to take our daughter and get her life back on track. I'm mad that my ex didn't give my daughter a dime of that money, and I'm mad that I pay for my daughter's health insurance, car insurance, dental insurance, life insurance, vision insurance, AD&D, phone bill, and car insurance, and gave her a $15,000 car, while her mom hasn't paid one bloody red cent. She doesn't even have any insurance on my daughter. I want justice for what that evil witch has done to me and my daughter, and I want the child support money back that I paid during the 4 years I took care of her full time. I'm ordered to continue paying another $3,000 of child support until it will all be taken care of, at which time my daughter will be a few months into her 20th year on this earth. Yes, I made some dumb decisions, but it's not right, and I want justice. Help me, people of Reddit. You're my only hope. TLDR. Married, druggy, alcoholic woman due to getting her pregnant while dating. She divorced me for no reason after 1 year while cheating on me the whole time, unbeknownst to me. Took my daughter from me to use as a pawn and for child support. About ruined my daughter's school life until eventually admitting she couldn't take care of her and asked me to take her from her, to which I agreed. But then had my salary garnished for the child support I didn't pay because I had my daughter full time for 4 years and got her life back on track, while her mom refused to give me the money back. She's still collecting child support from me to this day, despite my daughter being nearly 20 years old. How can I get justice vengeance?